Hello friends. Most people think food is about taste, nutrition, or tradition. This isn't food, it just looks like something you're supposed to eat. You didn't choose this. You were never meant to see how it's made. The moment you see how this is made, your appetite shuts off. Take hot dogs. They don't start as a recipe, they start as leftovers. Trimmings scraped from bones after prime cuts are removed, cartilage, connective tissue, fat, and scraps that can't be sold any other way. These are forced through steel screens under pressure until they become a smooth pink slurry. Texture is engineered, not cooked. Flavor is added later. What you're eating isn't assembled, it's reconstructed. Chicken nuggets follow the same logic. Not pieces of chicken, but mechanically separated meat, pulverized until structure disappears, then reshaped into something familiar. The shape is there to calm you. The process was never meant to be seen. Processed cheese isn't melted dairy, it's an emulsion. Real cheese is broken down, stabilized with salt so it never separates, never behaves like food normally would. That's why it melts perfectly every time. That consistency isn't culinary skill, it's chemical control. Margarine takes it further. Vegetable oils are chemically hydrogenated to behave like butter, dyed yellow so your brain accepts it, flavored so your tongue follows. What you're tasting is a simulation of something that once came from an animal. Breakfast cereal looks harmless until you trace it backward. Highly refined grains stripped of fiber, nutrients added back later to meet regulations, sugar levels closer to dessert than breakfast. Colorful shapes aren't for kids, they're for shelf recognition. Nutrition isn't the goal, compliance is. Fruit juice feels healthy until you realize the fruit is gone. Fiber removed, sugars concentrated, shelf life extended through pasteurization so aggressive it kills anything alive. What remains is sweetness with a memory of fruit. Farmed salmon is dyed because natural color doesn't survive industrial feed. Shrimp are treated with chemicals to prevent blackening so they look fresh long after they're not. Pre-cut fruit is washed in antimicrobial solutions so strong they slow decay, but strip away anything resembling freshness. Ground beef is blended from dozens or hundreds of animals. Increasing contamination risk, managed not by purity but by probability. Milk is ultra-pasteurized to survive transport, not to improve quality. Shelf life matters more than origin. Even bread isn't spared. Soft sandwich loaves are engineered to never go stale, using emulsifiers and dough conditioners that keep texture uniform for weeks. Honey is frequently filtered, heated, blended, sometimes diluted, until pollen traces disappear and origin becomes untraceable. None of this exists because someone wanted to deceive you personally. It exists because scale demands compromise. Because feeding millions requires systems that value consistency over integrity. Speed over structure, cost over context. The result isn't poison, it's something more unsettling. Food that technically qualifies as edible while quietly abandoning everything food used to be. The shock isn't that these foods are made this way. The shock is that you were never meant to think about it. Transparency slows consumption. Understanding interrupts habits. Once you know, you don't feel angry. You feel disconnected. The craving doesn't land the same way. The packaging starts to feel louder than the product. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. You don't stop buying these foods because someone told you to. You stop because your brain no longer recognizes them as nourishment. Once that switch flips, it doesn't flip back, and that's the real reason this list matters. Not because it tells you what to eat, but because it shows you how far food has traveled from its origin. Once you see the system, you don't feel controlled, you feel awake.
A single McDonald's serves about 2,500 meals daily. But the USS Gerald R. Ford, the Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier, prepares 17,398 meals every day for 4,500 sailors. This $13,300,000,000 zero-cent ship, commissioned in 2017, operates as a floating city where food is as vital as jet fuel. The culinary team manages ingredient harvesting to keep the crew fed and mission ready. This documentary explores how 90 culinary specialists handle this massive task. Support combat operations and influence global naval dining. The USS Gerald R. Ford, the lead ship of its class, measures 333 metres and weighs 100,000 tonnes. Its 4,500 crew members rely on 2 high-tech conglomerate galleys, unlike the 5 on older Nimitz-class carriers. These galleys produce 17,398 meals daily. Covering breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats for night shift sailors. Each of the 90 culinary specialists serves about 193 meals a day, outpacing top restaurants. Navy data from 2024 shows the team harvests 350 pounds of lettuce and 1,600 pounds of meat daily. Culinary specialists train in food safety, bulk cooking, and time management. They learn to manage ingredient harvesting efficiently to avoid waste under tight schedules. European navies differ. Germany's F-125 class frigates serve 450 meals daily for 150 crew, using pre-prepared dishes with minimal staff training. Focus on fresh meal harvesting sets it apart. The question is, how do these chefs maintain this scale during intense missions? The Ford's galleys use self-cleaning convection ovens to streamline meal harvesting, allowing 2 galleys to serve thousands. Every 7 to 10 days, logistic ships deliver 400,000 to 700,000 pounds of food, including fresh produce and frozen goods. The team manages ingredient harvesting to prioritise fresh items. Like vegetables, the Royal Navy's Type 45 destroyers serve 570 meals daily for 190 crew using pre-packaged meals and 30 staff. Unlike the Ford's 90-person fresh cooking team. Rough seas challenge the process, and equipment failures, like a broken oven, require quick fixes to meet breakfast schedules from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock AM. Five, food boosts morale during long deployments. A sailor said in 2024, a hot meal after a 12-hour shift is like a hug from home. Menus, planned 14 to 21 days ahead, include American favourites like mac and cheese and cultural dishes like biryani, harvested to meet allergies and religious diets. CS2 Aishi Khan created a Mediterranean fusion night in 2024, harvesting hummus and kebabs to lift spirits. This dish became a weekly favourite, showing the power of crew-driven meals. During a February 2025 airstrike against Houthi targets in the Red Sea, the culinary team harvested 1,000 extra meals in 24 hours for Air Wing personnel. This effort supported Ford's NATO mission. Unlike 2020's Navy food quality issues like mouldy bread, the Ford's galleys earned 95% crew satisfaction in 2024 surveys due to improved harvesting standards. The culinary specialists are essential to the Ford success. Captain Richard Burgess said in 2025, "Our galley team powers this ship as much as our reactors do." Their work harvesting meals supported 24/7 flight operations during NATO exercises with 12 allied nations. The team meets caloric needs 2,850 calories daily for men, 2,100 for women, keeping sailors strong. The Ford's galleys use 90 staff compared to 150 on older carriers, with digital planners and automated systems for efficient meal harvesting. Composting reduces sea dumping by 30%, and a plasma arc system incinerates trash at 9,000 DGF. The Netherlands' De Zeven Prevention frigates process 300 pounds of waste daily, with biodigesters for 175 crew. Showing similar sustainability, the Navy tests 3D printed protein bars inspired by France's Charles de Gaulle carrier, which trials printed meals for 500 crew. Innovations like Aisha Khan's Mediterranean Fusion Night influenced digital planners to harvest crew-driven recipes. The USS Gerald R. Ford's team harvest more than food, they sustain morale and readiness. Their work shapes naval dining globally, from efficiency to sustainability. What's the one meal that could lift a sailor's spirits in the ocean? Share your favourite comfort dish in the comments. Like, share and subscribe for more stories about the Navy's unsung heroes. Can 7% of the world's farmland feed 1.4 billion people? In 2024, China's grain harvest hit a record 700.3 million tons, surpassing the US and Europe combined. From drones to hand-picked oranges, Chinese farmers are revolutionizing agriculture to secure food for billions. How do they do it? Let's uncover their harvest secrets and compare them to American and European methods. China's corn harvest reached 296.6 million tons in 2024, making it the world's second largest producer. Combined harvesters now cover 75% of cornfields. Cutting harvest time by 60% compared to manual methods. In Heilongjiang, farmer Li Wei uses a GPS-guided harvester to collect 12 tons daily. Boosting income for his family, the US leads with 5.2 tons per acre using AI-driven machines, while China's yield is 3.1 tons. China imported $5.8 billion, 0 cents in US corn last year, to feed its livestock, but new drone technology in Shandong could close this gap. Can machines outpace human hands in future harvests? Corn harvesting flows into the citrus harvest, vital for China's 18 southern provinces. Oranges account for half of fruit production, with 62,000 tons harvested from 12,000 hectares in Hunan. Farmers handpick each fruit to ensure quality for Lunar New Year markets. Mrs. Chen, a Hunan farmer, hires 20 seasonal workers to harvest her 2-acre orchard. Preserving tradition. In Spain, Europe's citrus leader, tree shaking machines harvest 3.7 million tons yearly, saving 40% in labour costs. China's small farms can't afford these machines, but trials in Guangdong showed tree shakers cutting harvest time by 50%. Hand-picked or machine harvested, which ensures better fruit. The citrus harvest leads to apples, where China dominates with 49.8 million tons in 2024, over half the global supply. The US produces 12.6 million tons, and Poland, Europe's top producer, yields 9.6 million. In Shandong, farmer Zhang Tao uses ladders to handpick apples. Employing 30 workers for his 2.5-acre orchard. The US uses hydraulic platforms, speeding up harvesting by 35%, while Poland's sorting machines boost efficiency by 25%. China's new robotic harvesters in Tiantai increase yields by 22%. But only 1% of farmers can afford them. High temperatures cut China's 2024 apple harvest by 4.8 million tons. Can robots save the next harvest? Five, apples connect to soybeans, critical for food security. Longjang's 2024 soybean harvest hit 2.7 million tons across 20 million acres. Combine harvesters with moisture sensors to improve yields by 18%. A Gongqing cooperative uses drones to cut pesticide use by 30%, protecting soil. The US doubles China's yield at 4.7 tons per acre using GMO seeds and AI machines. China imported 96.2 million tons of soybeans in 2024, mostly from Brazil. After rains delayed harvests, soybeans feed people and animals. But can China's harvest meet rising demand? Vegetable harvests, like cabbage and carrots, add 201.4 million tons to China's output, outpacing the US 80.2 million tons. In Shandong, smart irrigation boosts cabbage harvests by 15%, while Europe's Netherlands uses greenhouses to triple yields. Climate change threatens harvests with droughts and floods. Yet China's $4,600,000,000 0-cent investment in agricultural technology in 2024 outpaces the US and EU. Drones, robots, and drought-resistant seeds cut pesticide use by 12% since 2015, aligning with Europe's farm-to-fork sustainability goals. Can technology secure harvests against nature? China's 2024 grain harvest of 700.3 million tons defied floods and droughts, ensuring food for 1.4 billion people.